guys, Raven Sky 23 here. Gonna do a quick, they're never quick, are they? Gonna do a little vlog here about yarn. Now most of you, well, it's for everybody. A little helpful hints here. Most people, when they buy yarn, they buy them in balls like this, or the longer ones that have been wound into this. But you're wondering, how does it get to this? Well, there's another way to buy yarn. Well, there's also cones, which are machine spun. If you're a weaver, you know cones very well. Anybody else may have bought yarns in a cone and not known what it is. But machine spun, actually, the yarn is wound onto a cone, which is like a cone. Hello, Kira. Here's Kira. You gonna make things difficult for me, Kat? Say hello to YouTube. Oh, well, she's gonna watch. And the other way you buy yarns is in a hank. And I just undid the hank. And this is basically yarn twisted like this. Kira, you're so funny. And then once it's wound like that, it's put like this. Okay. And you buy it like that. Or you buy it just hanging like this. And it's tied in several spots. Like here. A couple spots. And it depends on who the manufacturer is. And this is like, I spin my own yarn. I didn't spin this. But anyway, I put the yarn in something like this. And this is like, you see the old videos of people like winding yarn into a ball by hand. Basically, you use the back of a chair or somebody that will sit there with their hands like this. You know, they might have showed that like on Little House on the Prairie or something like that. Somebody sitting there holding hands. And they were winding the yarn into a ball. Well, what we're going to show you today is how we get this into something closer to this. Anyway, so this is a ball winder. You need one of these if you're going to do this. You can buy them anywhere online. This happens to be one that comes from a company called Royal. And it just screws onto any surface like this. And Royal is a Japanese company. There it is. Get it good and tight. And this is what, you know, we will wind like this, and our ball will be on here. Okay, so, and this is a swift. And you'll see these made out of wood. There's all sorts of different kinds. Someday I'll do, when I get all my things moved into this house, I'll do one just on swifts. I have what's called a squirrel cage swift. I have several different swifts because I was collecting them for a while. And I still, if I see one I like, I'll buy it. But anyway, this also clamps on here. And I need to open this one up a little more. This one is a plastic one, which looks cheap, but I tell you, it's one of the best ones I've ever used. And it's called an umbrella swift, this particular type of one. And you'll see why in a moment. When it opens up like this, I'm going to have to move this leg a little bit. When it opens up like this, it kind of opens like an umbrella does. Okay, and I will adjust the size of that, oops, to fit around this, because there's no exact science for how big these are. This is a very, very fat skein of yarn. I think there's about 1,200 yards in this. It's a sport weight, more of a between fingering and sport weight yarn. And I did pretty good at estimating how big that is. And you want to, you know, I can look at this and I can see where the yarn goes. You don't want it twisted very much, because you'll see why in a minute. And make sure it's all kind of in the same order. So it's going the same way. And I can push this up a little tighter. Okay, that's about as tight as I can go with this. And because I didn't bring my scissors, I'm going to have to, there we go. Oh, that worked out better than what I broke where I think the yarn starts, which is right there. Untied it. There should be another end, and I'm not seeing it right now, but it probably will happen. Kind of move this along to see how it's gonna go. Looks pretty good. Okay, so there it's on the swift. Now, I don't fall on my butt when I try to go for the chair and it's not there. In the top of the center of the cone winder, there's a little slit right there, which is where I will put the yarn, like that. And that's going to be the center of my ball. So when I get all the way done, hopefully I'll be able to pull this out, and that'll be the center of my ball, which is where you pull out the yarn and start knitting from. So I moved the Swift over a little so you can see this. And so basically, what I'm doing is first I want it to go through this little windy thing here. And what the windy thing, you like the technical term? This is a tension holder. And then it goes through here. And now the first few times around, until this gets locked in place, see how the yarn is going over that? That will hold that in place once I get going. Okay, so now I've taken up my tension, and watch the Swift. As I wind this, the Swift turns automatically, and see the ball winder is winding here? It's making a perfect little ball on here. And at first you go kind of slow, because you want the Swift to turn effortlessly, and I'm telling you, this is working better than a lot of them do because of the way people wind things into hanks. They twist the yarn on you. Like I see one thing that's happening here. See this little bulge? I'm going to undo that a little so that moves a little freer. And because this is 1,200 yards, I may try to go about halfway through and stop, break it off, and make a second ball. I don't want the ball to get too big for the winder. So as you see, I'm going faster and faster and faster, even though it's my left hand. And you can't hardly see what's going on here, but you can go pretty fast if you're sure the yarn isn't going to fall off of here and slide right off the end. I have had that happen before, the ball just popped off the end. But here is my edge, and you can see I've only got like a couple hundred more yards I can go before I'm going to have to do this. And I also gauge what I have left to see. I want to get it as full as I can so I don't end up with 3 balls. It would be nice to just have 2. I think I'm going to stop it here. And so what I do, normally I have scissors. You just break that off. So I'm just going to tuck that underneath the loose end. And this one worked perfectly. Sometimes it pulls this down end, which is really a pain in the neck. But see, I still have where I started, the yarn here, and I just put my finger under there and pull it out a ways. And see, that's my starting point where I'll start knitting from. And then this just slides right off, and bring this closer to the camera so you can see this as I step over the lumber on the floor. Okay, so here is my skein. I have lights up here and they're very bright, so. But you can see, I see the color of it. I don't know if that shows you. But it closed up the hole, and this is a very compact, very tight, nice ball to knit from. And often I'll do this, I'll take this and put this in a plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag, and zip it all the way shut except leaving like 2-3 inches, and pull this out, and I'll knit from that because it keeps the dust off of it. And this, I mean, this won't roll around. This will just sit there and this will just feed out of it. But anyway, oops, and sometimes that happens when you pull it out, which is okay, don't freak out. This is the very bit where it started winding around the ball, and it's very tight when it first starts out. So when you pull this, it'll pull that out, and that's okay. It's just going to continue to feed. That's just what you knit with. And now I'm just going to repeat the process. Now, while I'm doing this also, I wanted to mention, I recently have gotten a whole bunch of new subscribers. And part of the reason is that is someone discovered my video, an old video I have called The Box. It's a poem I wrote. And I'm really grateful for Abominable Angel. She's the one that found that and sent it to her friends list. And I really appreciate that because I love that poem. I figured it was really a gift to me that I was able to write that. I don't really, I mean, I take credit for it because I did write it. But it was one of those things, I woke up in the morning from a dream and the poem was right there. And I think I may have changed 1 or 2 words in it after that. It was just amazing. It was quite the gift. The muse was upon me. I like the poem. Anyway, and other people did too, and so I've got new subscribers. So hey, all you new subscribers, I promise all my videos won't be knitting videos. Those of you that like the knitting videos, I'll try to intersperse them because I know that a lot of you, that's why you subscribe to me. And you know, I really don't know why a lot of people subscribe to me. I get different comments, but the majority of the people that subscribe to me never comment. And I know you watch my videos because I see the counts of the videos go up, but just leave a comment every now and then. I would love to hear you guys leave a comment because otherwise, how do I know what you like? How do I know what you want to see more? If you just like whatever I do, well, thank you, but tell me. Tell me who sent you, maybe if somebody referred you, because I'd like to thank that person. Anyway, that's just a little, hopefully, something that will prompt you to talk to me. Because I love to hear, I mean, that's why I'm on YouTube, to make new friends and, you know, to share different things with people. So anyway, here I am blindly spinning this onto the ball and not paying any attention. You can do that after a while.